tooth powder and toothpaste. Why is there a difference, and which one should you be using?
So let's start off with tooth powders. We've been using tooth powders for centuries, way before toothpaste even came into the game. We combined clay and natural materials like wood and other herbs to create something that freshened our breath. Today, though, you'll rarely find tooth powders on the market, and it's been oversaturated with toothpastes.
So, in the 20th century, we moved more into toothpaste. This combines all of the ingredients that maybe were similar before, but adding in a lot of different other chemicals. Two of the main components that you probably find in 90% of toothpaste now is sodium lithosulfate, I'm making sure I'm saying it right, and fluoride, which has been a popular topic of discussion for a lot of people. And I'm going to talk about them both for a little bit. Sodium lithosulfate is SLS for short, and I'll also name some other names that's under, because all these chemical compounds are often named so many different things that it gets lost in translation of what it is.
The purpose of SLS is very simple. It's to make this product, whatever it is, toothpaste, soap, anything, more bubbly and foamy so you could feel fresh and clean.
But this compound is actually not the thing that's carcinogenic. It's how it's produced that sometimes is contaminated with ethylene oxide, which is a known carcinogen because it is used in fertilizers, or it's also used in pesticides is the word I was talking about, because it's really good at sterilizing whatever it interacts with. And so it also causes many different cancers. I'll leave links below of all these things that I've studied and all these different resources. A lot of times dental or healthcare industries don't tell you exactly what's going on. They'll name it under some other name. They'll also just try to hide it under a different compound. And so if you don't do your research about, let's say, SLS, you won't know that it can be contaminated with these other things because it's not in the ingredient list. They don't have to put it under there. There's a lot of different companies that derive their ingredients in different ways. And if they are not careful and if they don't care as much, honestly, then your health is at risk and you really are, under their scrutiny of what's right and wrong. The other chemical that's often talked about is fluoride. I think I've been hearing it so much over these past few years, and I've kind of been just like, I don't know what that is. So I just took some time to look at it. And there's two really different fluorides that are used. Sodium fluoride, hydrogen fluoride is the one that I hear about the most. Sodium fluoride is 90% of what is used to fluoridate our water. And so I say all water because I live in New York State, New York City specifically, and our water is fluoridated. And the main reason is because the dental industry thought that it was needed to prevent cavities. It also causes a condition though, and this is how fluoridation was first discovered by a dentist that was trying to push it because he realized that a lot of people in a certain region that had fluorosis, I think is how you say it, I'll put the name below so you can see, started having these brown stains on their teeth. But the more he studied these group of peoples in different areas, he realized that not only did they have brown coloring on their teeth, they also had a lower rate of cavities. And so he contributed this to the fact that their water naturally had fluoride in it. And so because of this really large amount of fluoride in their water, he really tried to push for everybody to be consuming more fluoride or having their water fluoridated, because it showed a really positive effect in his time that fluoride was good for building up your enamel, preventing cavities and gingivitis and stuff like that. That was way back when there was not much research about it, and that was really mainly his own research and his own perspective of what was going on. But now, we have done a lot more research and just looking into this chemical compound and finding just different results. I've been getting a lot of mixed results with this fluoride kind of research, and I've been going back and forth and seeing different resources, and there's been a lot of different companies that have been saying certain things. Like Tom's is a toothpaste that I used to use, and they put in their website, fluoride in small amounts, it's fine in toothpaste because you're not ingesting it. We all know, like, when you brush your teeth, you eat a little bit of it. Small children, when they brush their teeth, come on, they're consuming a little bit amounts in it. And so I don't think it should be the argument of let's do it in small amounts, it's okay, right?
And here you'll see a little bit of the research document that I made. The CDC actually made a document saying that if you swallow these products, you'll be exposed to higher levels of fluoride. Swallowing toothpaste can account for a large percentage of the fluoride that children consume. You could find the links below.
Fluoride is naturally occurring. It does happen in the soil. You can get in contact with it if you're in a region where fluoride is used in pesticides and fertilizers. You may also be exposed to fluoride in these kind of ways by airborne. It's kind of just floating in the air, or it's also in foods if you are in an area where food is grown and the soil is kind of floating around, like I just repeated. But the thing is that the fluoride used in water is oftentimes synthetic fluoride, and so that's when it becomes the problem, right? A lot of hydrogen fluoride, sodium fluoride that is used to fluoridate our waters are actually from synthetic sources. They're not really from the organic or the federally natural fluoride out there. To keep our intake at a certain level, the government has to get it from a synthetic source, and so that already puts up a red flag for me. But let's just look at some effects of fluoride. It is said that it's safe to have it in our water as a process to fluoridate our water and build up our enamel, because what fluoride does is it acts as a mineral attractor. So go ahead and bind together minerals like calcium and bring that into your already developed teeth, let's say. But over time, it really causes other severe problems. Even though it does do this one thing, it is causing other stuff like calcification of the pineal gland, and it's also doing other stuff like weakening your bones. You see a higher risk of elderly people especially having bone fractures and hip replacements, just because this is a thing that happens, and we've seen it in the recent years.
So yeah, here's another article that I've linked below as well from the Ohio State University. It was really a great article to read. It has a lot of the things I talked about, and also some really other cool, interesting things. And there's just one last thing that I wanted to mention about this. Fluoride was so advertised in many different ways, but really, who gets harmed when it's not in our waters or it's not in our toothpaste? But let's just read over their conclusion that they've made. One can accept that fluoridation was a defendable public health measure in the mid-20th century. Tooth decay was a serious problem, and it was arguably worth taking some risks in order to tackle it. However, the continued insistence among public health authorities and dentists that community water fluoridation remains essential to good health is incommensurate with evidence for its effectiveness, as well as downplaying the harm of fluorisis and other problems. In all likelihood, the only significant problem that would arise from an end to fluoridation is that the Florida phosphate industry would have to find a different way, no doubt more expensive and less convenient, to dispose of its toxic waste.
So I would say just do your research, and also just try to avoid these things. Get more natural products, and also just maybe make your own at home. I honestly have been doing that and I've been loving it.
So if you ever do get the chance, just go ahead and search up my little business with my best friend. It's called gojiandneem.com, and once you get there, you just see a little bio of our cute little story. So, it's something that I've always dreamed about having, sharing all this stuff that I learned with my little community. So go ahead and shop our collection. There's a bunch of things that are, there right now on sale. So I just wanted to thank you all for spending your afternoon with me, and see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe. It really helps every time you comment and like our video. Thank you. Bye bye.